Hey guys, welcome to the Turks and Caicos. We've been here for a week. We leave tomorrow, and we just kind of wanted to invite you to share this with us for a little bit. And when this episode publishes, it'll be Thursday, February, was it 4th or 5th? Anyway, the date doesn't matter, but it'll be Thursday, and we'll already be home. But on our last full day here, we just wanted to share some time and share a story with you guys. So we've done a couple of these so far. Episode 100.
Yes, episode 100, and then I did one on my own with Lee Schultes.
With Lee, yep.
So this is only my third time being on your podcast.
And this is 4 because you and I did an episode one time it wasn't on. We didn't go and do a big production. We just sat next to the microphone and just jammed. It was a good episode too.
That was the one where you said we talked about how well we knew each other.
That's right. That's right. Great episodes, but there's, I do a lot of on the podcast. I do a lot of what I call mic drops, where they're little 20-minute segments, and they're just some teaching and some, just me pouring into you guys. And I love those. But I get a lot of positive feedback when people like Angie or Brian Schroeder are on the podcast, where I'm opening up my space to people that I love and people that I adore. So we're going to do this together, and we're going to tell you a pretty cool story about what it's like to be awesome travel partners.
Yeah, and I think the important thing to mention is with this episode is that this was our dream years ago. This was in the first vision we created together was a life of travel and not separating business and life and integrating, not work-life balance, but work-life integration. So I thought when I made this suggestion to Mike, hey, let's do a podcast while we're on the road, and just to inspire you that it can be real and that we've done it. So
create anything you want.
Yeah.
So going back to in 2016, if you listen to this podcast or any episode, you probably heard the story. 2016, our life fell apart, and I'm talking about our health, how we created income. Our savings started to dwindle. Our home was in complete chaos. Our family was it was just a combat zone. And we hit the reset, and we kind of went to our neutral corners and tried to figure out our own shit, because I was bringing a lot of pain to the party and Angie was bringing a lot of pain to the party. So we kind of went back to our neutral corners and healed and resolved our own, inner conflicts. When we came back together, we got a chance to put everything back together in just a magical way. And it kind of started where we built this dream, we built this vision. It started at a conference where we spent 3 days trying to figure out the perfect life that we wanted to live together. And in that session, we designed what our health was going to look like, what our business was going to look like, the beginnings of our business, what our travel was going to look like, how we were going to experience our home environment. And you want to talk a little bit about, what happened for you in those 3 days or over the course of those 3 days?
So I think that over those 3 days is I had evidence that was actually possible. So up until that point, it was a little bit difficult to really think that, I can create this dream life, because I was hearing people sharing their visions and what their lives, what they wanted their lives to look like. And not only were people sharing how they were designing their life, but I was able to see people that were already they're already modeling that vision and modeling that it can come to fruition.
Yeah, and I think for me, it started by just challenging the norms, challenging the conditioning, and challenging the programming that I needed to work for somebody else to have security, and that you vacation was 2-3 weeks a year where you got away from this miserable life that you had to live, and instead of going somewhere just to experience a different place, you actually escaped your old life, because that's what vacation used to be for us. It used to be an escape, not an adventure, but it used to be an escape. And sometimes we'd go and
we would dread coming home, and I think we would dread going back to our home
because we didn't love the life that we lived. And vacation for us was escaping that life, going somewhere else and that we wanted to be. And then as the week went on, or we took our girls to Cancun one time for 11 days in a row, And at the end of the vacation, you just kind of regretted even wanting to come home, because back at home, there was combat, and there was violence, and there was drama, and there was fighting, and there was just, and then I had to, I went to work somewhere I didn't want to go, and so to do something I didn't want to do, and it was just like we dreaded every aspect of our life except when we were on vacation. But wherever you are, there you are, right? Wherever you go, there you are. We often took our drama on the road with us. So it's not like the drama stopped and then we were like in this happy, loving place. We just found a way to be in that same drama.
To be miserable in paradise.
Yeah. And we sat down in that weekend, in that 3-day session, we sat down and we designed a completely different life. And I was in the early stages of building a coaching business. And one thing that I didn't want anymore from, I guess moving forward in that session, I didn't ever want life to start or stop and business to start or stop. I wanted to build a business, and I wanted to do business that I love, that I look forward to, that I get to, not that I had to. And I never wanted to have to stop my work. I just wanted to enjoy my work so much that it was just part of my life, and that's how I experience our business. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I think you said it exactly. That's what we've been doing. I mean, last year we traveled 15 times in 2024. And there was only one time we missed a group coaching call, and that was in the Dominican Republic, and it was because we didn't have signal.
It's Wi-Fi, yeah.
It was a Wi-Fi related issue, but we've been here in the Turks and Caicos for a week, and we've really, everything has stayed on track. And
going back to this month we've been in New York City for New Year's Eve and the ball drop. We went to New Orleans to celebrate the engagement of a dear friend of mine, ours. I went to Sedona, Arizona with Brian to have Brian Schroeder to have the Game of Money retreat, and that was an awesome time. And then here we are in Turks and Caicos, and that was just January.
Yeah.
Here it is February, I don't know, like I said, February 4th or 5th, I'm not sure. But, it was just January, and we had already traveled.
Yeah.
I had already traveled 4 times. You traveled 3 because you didn't go out to Sedona with me. Yeah. But on all of those, in all of those sessions and all those trips, we still maintained all of our business calls without separation. And we did come down here for a week this time. This is a little longer trip than we normally take. But one of the reasons is because it takes a little longer to get here and to get back. So we just added more time on.
And I just to everyone who's listening or watching this, I want you to be really envious, because our next trip that we have scheduled in March is a speaking engagement in Columbia, Missouri. Yeah. So it's not like all of our work activities are in these awesome destinations, but Columbia is pretty cool. But it's not like it's the tropical resort island of Columbia, Missouri. But but I look forward to those too, because I get to jump up on stage and I get to do my favorite thing in the world, which is light souls on fire. I think it's funny we're going from Turks and Caicos to Columbia, Missouri.
Yeah. But after that, we're our older daughter graduates college this year. Yeah. She'll have her bachelor's degree, and I guess as a congratulations, we're going to pack up the family and go to Belize. Yeah. We're looking at Belize for a week and celebrating that.
Yeah, she was a 2020 grad, so she kind of got screwed out of a lot of stuff for her high school graduation. Yeah. So I feel like she deserves this, and she's worked hard. And before that, even before that, we have our group mastermind retreat in the Outer Banks.
We do Outer Banks. Yeah, we pick awesome destinations so that we can get our mastermind family away and get them in a house so we can pour into them, so we can continue inspiring and encouraging, and like we did in that 3-day workshop back in 2016, 2017. We like to do that with our folks so that they always get their inspiration relit and rekindled, so that they never leave the same as they got there. But, all of this to say that we're living this life now that was only a dream in 27. It was just a dream. And 2017. 2017, yeah, I said 2016, 2017. we were just on our Inner Wealth community call upstairs in the hotel room, and what I shared with the group is that every single dream and every single creation, every single thing you do or have or experience in your life, it starts from within you. The creation process takes place inside of you, and the materialization process, the realization process, takes place in the physical world. But if it's not true for you inside, then it's not going to be true for you outside, because everything starts from within. And this is the creation process. When we have our Choose Your Destiny Vision Live Intensive, and I talk about the creation process, it's getting clear about what you want, letting go of all worry, doubt, fear, anxiety, anything inside, any belief, any story inside of you that says that it's not possible, and becoming certain, and then remaining committed to your vision, remaining committed, and just continuing to take step by step toward in the direction of your clarity. And this life that we're living, it started off as a dream inside. It was clear inside. And over time, as we let go of worry, we let go of doubt, we stopped focusing on what we didn't want and focusing on that old life, and we started focusing on this new life, and we just remained committed. I mean, it's taken a while.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It
years.
was saying when we talk about staying committed, this vision, dream life was developed in 2017, and it wasn't until 2023.
Two or three years ago.
Yeah,
the full extent of it started really coming in, and we saw little glimpses of it along the way. But it's like in 2022, 23, somewhere in there, it's like everything opened up, and we just started traveling like crazy. And some of that had to do with COVID.
Oh, absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, because there was so often, like Mike said, we would go to Mexico every single year. We would take our girls, and he always wanted to go to Europe. I was still stuck in that a vacation is going to the beach mindset. And so Europe later, this will be later. Well, then COVID happened, and I freaked out at the thought of later never coming. So when COVID when COVID started to calm down, we went full steam ahead. The first thing we did was go to Europe.
Yep, we throttled it up.
The first thing that we did when travel restrictions got lifted was headed to Scotland and Paris.
Yeah. And I've got a lot of really, really extremely wealthy friends, and I say we're blessed, but we don't have that level of wealth. We have built a business that funds the lifestyle that we want to live, and it's just we're on a mission. I'm on a mission. I'll speak for myself. I'm on a mission to never hate any aspect of my life, and that includes how I earn money. That includes how we build wealth. That includes how we run our business. I'm on a mission to not dread any second of my life, because I dreaded the first 43 years. Right. So one of the things that I love is helping people understand that there's so many ways to make money in this world, and there's so many ways to create income. And oftentimes, based on conditioning and programming, we default back to getting a job or doing things that we hate, or doing things that other people say you should do to create income. And I like to help people understand that inside of you there is a money-making method that is so authentic for you, and it feels so good, it's almost at times gonna feel like you shouldn't be taking money for it, because it feels so good, because it's so easy and it's so effortless for you. And people oftentimes, they wanna pay you for it, because they see the genius and they see the power in it, and they see the love and they see the passion that you have for it, and they oftentimes want to fund your dream. And I believe that's what I found. It sure feels like that to me. When I'm speaking, we're making money. So whether it be the podcast, whether it be in front of an audience or at a workshop, and it's not always like linear growth. There are other things at play that come in, and sometimes our income goes up and sometimes it goes down, and the main thing we need to focus on is not freaking out when the income goes down, but remaining true and remaining committed to that vision.
I was going to say that's maintaining
the whole point.
Commitment.
Yeah. The wealthy and successful people focus on what they want, and unsuccessful people and people that struggle with money focus on what they don't want. So it's remaining committed to what you want instead of what you don't want. And by doing that, we travel. Like I said, we're 15, maybe even more last year, and we're actually starting to kind of downshift a little bit because the last 2 years have been so hectic and so volatile, and we've traveled so much. It's almost like, okay, we lived that part of our dream, and now we're trying to find that. We're trying to find that equilibrium, right, where we don't feel exhausted because we're living the life that we want.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
Yeah. So this whole thing, and it comes back to, we can have anything we want in this lifetime. We can experience, we can create, we can live whatever life we want. If you can dream it, we can live it. And it comes back to just trusting the God force creation power that you have inside of you, inside of your soul. But we also need to realize that there's this ego part of us, and it's that fear-based part. And if we let that fear-based part speak too loudly, and the ego-based part is going to tell you that you don't have enough, you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, you don't matter, you need to prove something to somebody else, you need to prove something to yourself. That ego-based part, if it screams loud enough, that dream and that soul your soul will get squashed, and that volume will turn down. This process has been about realizing what my soul is trying to experience at the expense of my ego, and at the expense of security, and at the expense of trying to become adequate, trying to become, significant in the world. Just let that part dissolve. And if anybody else connects to that and tries to impress that upon me, letting them have that and going about living through my soul and the increase in volume there. Sometimes it gets a little scary. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely.
Talk about that.
I mean, with being business owners and being self-employed and being responsible for the sole generator of your income, like you said, our income goes up and down. And certainly at the times where it goes down and it gets a little scary, but it doesn't, again, it's remaining committed to the process. It's allowing the fear. And we talked about this the other night when we were having a discussion, and I said to Mike that there was when I get scared, every time I start to feel that fear, it just gives me an opportunity to release another layer of it and clear it out. And the fear becomes more quiet, and it becomes less, the frequency lessens, and the loudness of it lessens.
The duration, the duration and the loudness and the volatility. And I really wanted you to unpack that, because that's the process of becoming certain, right? Every time that fear starts to creep in, and every time, it's too good to be true, and you start to get worried or anxious, or you feel like it's going to fall apart, that's when the certainty, and that's when the letting go, and I've done lots of episodes on releasing and letting go. That's when you really get in tune with what's inside of you, and start to let all of the disempowered beliefs and disempowered thoughts and disempowered emotions, let them go. If you're spending any time, any considerable time with beliefs that disempower you, with thoughts that disempower you, with that emotions that disempower you, you are literally suffocating yourself and choking yourself out from the inside out. And again, it goes back to really successful and wealthy people focus on what they want instead of what they don't want. They don't spend a lot of time with those disempowered beliefs and thoughts and emotions. And when you do that, you get clear about what you want, let go of all of that internal resistance and garbage, and remain committed to the process, you find yourself living the life of your dreams. And then the process of evolution means when you experience the life that you dreamed of, at some point you're going to be challenged to dream a new dream, a higher level dream, an evolved dream, because we are here to evolve and change and grow, not to get to a point and stay there for the rest of our lives. Is there anything else you want to add?
I'm melting.
She's melting.
I'm melting.
It's pretty warm out here, and she burns really, really easily.
Yes, I have several burning marks.
Burning marks.
On me right now, but we definitely wanted to record this in this beautiful background. We've got $1 million yachts behind us. Yeah. I mean, this is just beautiful, and I want to do more of these as we're traveling.
I love this. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'd like to I think that maybe our next travel episode we'll talk about what it's like traveling, what it's like being perfect travel partners.
Yeah. That's a great idea, and I think that was part of the plan today, but we never really got there.
Well, no, because you changed the plan.
I did. I always change the plan. So we are back in St. Louis tomorrow, which is Thursday,
tomorrow's Wednesday.
2 days, which is Wednesday. We're leaving. We're going back to St. Louis. Thursday, this episode will drop. That means we'll be back home when it drops. Tonight, which is Tuesday, we are going on we've got a private reserved yacht. We're gonna go out and have a sunset cruise.
I don't know if it's a boat.
It's a boat.
But it's a private boat. Oh, look, here comes the catamaran in right now.
Yeah. It's a boat. It's a boat yacht. I don't know what it is, but
just for the two of us, and we're gonna go island hopping on our last night here and watch the sunset. And
you can call it a boat. Yes. I'm calling it a yacht. I don't care if it's a rowboat. I'm gonna call it a yacht. We're going on a private yacht adventure, but really, what it is, it's about just being together, experiencing our last sunset here before we come home, and just spending some time together celebrating each other.
Would you be mad if it was a kayak?
No, I'm still going to call it a yacht. It's our yacht. I refuse to give up my identification that this thing that we're going on the water is a yacht.
Well, I can't wait to see it. So anyway, thanks for letting me be part of this again.
All right, guys, from the Turks and Caicos, we'll see you soon, all right?